Hey, what's up guys? How's it going? It's Dakanoth here, and today we've got some Garrison trapping today. Now, of course, towards the latter end of the video, I did decide to actually take the baby for a spin on the Phantom Knights. So we do a little bit of Labyrinth at the end. Now, again, you know, as many times as I've done this in this kingdom, you'd think at some point someone had finally would have caught on, you know? The great old trick. Somebody would finally figure it out. So we decide to mess with Kratos. Kratos has no idea. Kratos, that poor soul. Now again, you know, I always like to give my the trap a little bit of time. I like patience. Patience is kind of a nice tool. Because it's always more fun, right? Let them get 4 or 5 marches sunk into it already. You know, give them that satisfaction. You know, give them that satisfaction of, oh my, it's a bank. It's 250k worthy. I can send one, and another, and another, and nothing happens. Oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. You know, and so they go absolutely crazy with it, right? Now, obviously, you can see my leader's gone, right? Prisoned. Now, you're probably wondering, who exactly prisoned? Well, so the way this works, right, is that, you know, when it comes to this account, you know, it's like, at times it doesn't, you know, leader doesn't really matter to me. You know, it's not a sole aim of the account, really, to maintain its leader, because it doesn't need to. Doesn't have to have any troops, really. It's just the only purpose, really. It's just this. It's a very simplistic approach to how to garrison trap in this game, but believe me, it's really not that complicated. You see, at this point, Kratos has sunk his teeth in so deep that he forgot to send without his leader. Okay, he's so convinced that he knows what he's doing that he's already 2 marches into this. And then 3 marches into this. I mean, he's you know, he's convinced. All right, he is absolutely convinced at this point that he knows what he's doing, and that he's got everything he wants. Now you're probably thinking, now, how come you aren't randoming? You know, why are you letting this guy get a couple marches in? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're doing it wrong. Well, look, the way this goes, I like to let. If I can get maybe even 2 or 3 more people pitching in, it makes it that much bigger, that much better. So I like to let them sink their teeth in, but at this point you can tell I'm down to the last 20 million food. I'm out of resources. The bait is going to be pretty much screwed at this point, because he has quite essentially taken what he's got. And then of course my rally goes off accidentally. I'm like, ooh, that wasn't supposed to happen. And at this point, right, a 250k stack with the leader, right? So at this point, he's already gotten too far, but he scouts, and I'm like, oh no, if he sees that it's empty, I can't. So I go ahead and I ram, because I gotta take it before he decides to just random out, because chances are he would have pulled, and that's no good. Or at least send 1 march. So yeah, I didn't want to take that risk, so I just went ahead and took my losses. But needless to say, right, that's 100,000 pure tier 4 reds. There is no grinding that out. But, you know, of course, because Kratos, right, being a 600 mil player that he is, all right, Kratos is not the kind of guy that wants to lose his leader, even for 5 minutes. So I go ahead and I pull my troops back with some wing boots, obviously using wing boots too. Now, thanks to that new Gargantuan belt, it made that really not too difficult. In fact, and you'll notice a lot of the time when I'm sending these marches, guys, I'm not sending 375,000 tier 4 cav. No, I'm sending about 324,000 with about 40 to 50k tier 3 buffer. So that it's like really cheap, it's really simple, it's nothing complicated, right? And that's kind of what you want to go for, at least when you're trying to do this kind of garrison trap. You're not trying to make it so, you're really not trying to make yourself feel like you're investing so much resources and so much time and energy into this. So I went ahead and I ported back with the alt, and you can see there at the bottom left, I went ahead and I just clicked into emojis. I was just like, you know what? You already know you done messed up. So at this point, I just thought, oh, okay, I'll just gloat a little bit, you know, just a little bit. But of course, the thing is, right? And at this point, it's already pretty much well known that they're not going to get their leader back. Because as far as they're concerned, I'm 470 mil. For all they know, I'm a rally trap, right? So they're not really interested in finding out the hard way. And so it's really not too hard to negotiate some pretty decent bounties, right? Now, I went ahead and I thought, okay, what's a fair but reasonable amount of resources that I could ask somebody to pay in a bounty, right? Now, I would say anywhere between 100 to 200 mil for 600 and above. When you start talking like someone between 100 and 400 mil, you might manage with like 50 to 75 million. But like some people out there, like the craziest bounties I've ever seen people pay are like 5 to 600 million, and that's usually the billionite class. Those are the people that are just they're just so ridiculously wealthy they really can't afford to leave their leader out. Not because it's going to cost them, but more because really in their world, they can't go back to attacking and killing, and that's just not what they want. And the gold's cheap, so they just throw it away, which is really crazy. But either way, now, obviously, at this point, this is not the only garrison trap that I've got for you today. So I promise you, there's at least another 2 in this entire video that you can gladly sit down and watch. Believe me, there's a lot more to come. So having that said, you can see right there, he paid the ransom, which is fantastic. Now, of course, I'll go ahead and I'll show you, right, the actual ransom that he paid. You can see there, I've got 106 million gold, just like that. 150 million. Now, of course, I thought it would be kind of funny, so I changed my name to Phantom It, and then I would add the GHT. I've managed to aggravate people in a way that could not be unreversed, okay? Basically, at this point, people are so aggravated at the fact that they keep clicking on a link to the Phantom Knight, which is not the Phantom Knight. And it's a little obvious at first, but people get so aggravated with it that they finally, as a collective, said, okay, let's all pour and hit this guy. He doesn't have any troops. Oh, how wrong they are. Oh, how very wrong they are. But obviously, that's, well, I don't know. In part, they kind of already know who I am. Alright, if they haven't, they already know all too well. Almost everyone in this kingdom does. And if they don't, it's a pretty well-known fact that I'm the walking death trap of the entire kingdom. No one has gotten by without getting completely smothered by my wrath. In any case, just like that, completely zipped a handful there. Just, I never see it coming. They get so caught up in trying to steal all those resources that when it actually kicks in, it all goes just like that. There's another 80k. I was close, right? I was really close there to capping his leader, but I didn't get it. Again, when you do 300k, it happens. Now, provided, of course, that, you deal with one guild, you deal with another guild. I thought, okay, let's go bother this guild, because I don't think I've ever bothered these people. And as soon as I started scouting, didn't take very long, somebody was like, oh, I don't think so. Start sending his marches right the heck away. Didn't even really put a whole lot of thought into this. He just kind of went ahead and he was like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, okay. So again, this is kind of what I'm sending. It's 250 and then basically 50,000 tier 3 cav in there in case you didn't know. And I basically just send it. Now in this case, it's walking, right? For about 9 minutes. I don't have a whole lot of time on this march, right? But I've already kind of convinced myself at this point, this guy is probably just going to keep hammering it, because at this point, he thinks he's in control. He thinks he has control of the situation. He thinks. That's a big key there, but that, again, it just like that, it never ends the way they wanted to, it just never does. Now, I liked that one because that was a pretty quick one, but then I noticed, wait a minute. Is that what I think it is? A march? So I started speeding that thing up because I'm like, oh boy, I could just pour it over and hit that if he isn't paying attention, right? So I'm pulling those back as quick as I can. Now, I've tried to catch marches in the past, and you can port on those, right? If you had like a buddy, but the problem is for my case, right, is my wall is so strong that it won't actually crumble. So in this case, I went ahead and grabbed what I could, and then I just thought, okay, let's just pour it in, and very quickly, lets it hit that tile as fast as possible before he realizes that he's got a tile out. You know, where he knows he's got a camp out, you know, like, if I can catch him, I'm gonna do it. So I caught him, and I was like, yes. I did not take any time to look at it, though, but because I have his leader, it doesn't matter what is on there. It could be all ranged to your point, it doesn't make a difference. And you'll see here in a second, there's 110,000 dead right there. Like, ouch. And that's range that I sent on cavalry, okay? I sent cavalry, and I did 110,000 wounds. And of course, I got his leader, right? And immediately, you know, he's like, wait, what? Like, what just happened? You know, and that's like every person that, you know, you grab doing this trap. They never see it coming. They always go, wait a minute, what's going on here? What kind of sorcery is this? You know, and they never see it coming, right? Now again, you know, obviously, yeah, sometimes I wound a little bit of tier 4, so it's not to say that it is cheap. Like, you can see it's costing me some, you know, but it's not as bad as the people that are on the receiving end of it, you know, like, it's really not so bad. Now again, you know, getting a leader cap like that's always nice. So, you know, again, I always love to look at this and just take a step back, look at how that battle goes down. So as you can tell, you know, he's got his infantry on the sides, he's got himself in a cav wedge or something. I don't know what the motivation was for that. Alright, but it doesn't take a whole lot for myself, really, at this point, to just basically just gun it down. It doesn't take a whole lot, you know, with cavalry versus no lead, you know, like that, just no chance. Like, it's all going down. It's cav versus infantry. You have no chance in winning that fight. You're like guaranteed to lose it. And so just like that, the leader's captured, and basically now every march at this point is a domino. Okay, it doesn't matter what he sends, it's gonna lose every single time. So there's another 61,000 tier 4 cannoneers there. Now, granted, you know, the wounded are there, but at some point, you're eventually going to run out of infirm space. And, yeah, I mean, tough stuff. But now, again, I decided, okay, I'll go take the baby account, and I'll actually go into the labyrinth. I hit, you know, the Phantom Knight with him for quite a few hits, right, as you can see. But here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go for the labyrinth jackpot. Now, I don't know, you know, if we're actually going to be able to get it. Because, again, when it comes to the labyrinth jackpot, you never really know. But in case you're wondering, you know, how do you play free-to-play? This is like pretty much how you do it. You just pretty much do the Phantom Knight, and then you proceed to go in and you do this. You know, it's an easy, you know, it's really not that difficult, right? You can basically manage to get yourself quite a lot of gems this way for free-to-play, but you're also able to get yourself speed-ups and a bunch of other stuff. And so for even 20,000 gems, this is really not that bad. Considering that, you know, I haven't been like I don't spend like a gajillion dollars on this account, right? This is just a free-to-play account for the most part, where it really only does one thing for me, which is to basically Garrison trap. That is it. Aside from the hypering aspect of it that I hopefully will have it be able to do soon enough, you know, for food. But again, these are things that, you know, you take your time as you go, because again, you know, when it comes to like the labyrinth in particular, right? A lot of the time what I'll do is I'll take a lot of these speed ups you'll see I'm getting in here, and I just recycle that stuff. But like all the bagged resources and stuff, because my main account is so wealthy, and because it's not so difficult for me to just go out of my way to dump resources on this account, it has that advantage. You know, it doesn't really need to have bags per se. I mean, yeah, I could have bags sitting there, but really I'll just take all that gold that I gain from, you know, getting bounties and getting people to fall into that trap, and basically just throw it onto this account and just rinse repeat. It really doesn't take a heck of a lot to continue the process that you've seen me do here in this entire video, right? But, and again, you know, here we hit another gem and gremlin, and again, you know, it's not bad, right? 300, 300, 300, that's some good stuff, right? Like, that is not bad at all for a free-to-play, and we're only 15,000 stars. I mean, this is great so far, you know. But that's the thing. I absolutely love Labyrinth for this. But And again, you know, if I had to be honest with myself, yeah, obviously, if you've got like 20,000 stars as free to play, you probably should wait until like a special monster shows up, or you should do it like towards Guildfest or something like that. Just an FYI, all right? Because I only did this because, really, frankly, I don't care about managing this account all that much, and I'm not trying to be efficient with it. Like, I'm just doing it because, hell, might as well, right? You might as well. You've got 800k on the jackpot. You might as well give it a go. You know, because you never know. You might win it with 20,000 Holy Stars. You never know. Now, again, yes, of course, there will be another video coming up not too long from now where I will showcase the 360-some thousand Holy Stars that I've got on my main account. So be looking forward to that. If you guys have any questions in regards to basically Garrison trapping or anything like that, I do have a video that I will put in the description as well as in the comment section below. But in regards to pretty much the absolute atrocities, right, that you can pull off with that trap, it's fantastic. And it's even better, you know, I was doing it, you know, right beside that Phantom Knight, and you would have seen that I was getting scouted, you know, and it's really not surprising to me at all. Now, obviously, in my kingdom, like, nobody bothers attacking me, really. And, yeah, I still get people that message me, and they're like, we know you're trapped. You're not going to get hit. And I wait, like, a couple of minutes. I look for different guilds, and, like, sooner or later, I get, like, not one, not two, but, like, 3 people in the kingdom. So I'm not saying that I won't get hit, but most of the time, I would say most people are probably pretty familiar with this trap already in my kingdom. So at a certain point, you have to start getting crafty. You have to start thinking of unique and different ways to kind of get people to fall into the trap. But, you know, again, you know, one way or the other, you're going to eventually manage to pull it off. And again, you know, it's kind of I guess it is annoying, right? Because, again, I've always kind of felt like, you know, at a certain point, a Garrison trap just only gets so far, right? But if I was going to do anything that I would do differently, I was thinking about probably trying to, like, replicate, like, a bot farm or something like that. And somebody would be sending, basically, resources to the alternate account, and there would be a Garrison. And so they would just assume that it's, like, a bank, and it's just getting funneled resources to it. And I've always kind of wondered if, like, maybe we could start playing with that tactic to see if maybe we could catch anybody. But, you know, I don't know. You know, there's, like, I've got a half a dozen different ideas that I've got running through my mind as to, like, how we could potentially trap people. Because, you know, like, there's Baron Wars. There's so many different places that you could try this trap out. And the best part is, right, if any of you are out there that want to be rally traps, or you are a rally trap, you know, if you wanted to really bait somebody hard, I can tell you that if you do a Garrison trap as a rally trap, that is a super cool way to, like, grab leaders, and then people are motivated to hit you at that point. Because as soon as I grabbed that leader from Achilles, it did not take very long for their entire guild to be like, all right, we're going to rally you, we're going to attack you, blah, 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 blah. Like, if you really need to get yourself a really good motivator, that's exactly how you do it. Now, again, here we go, another boss. Let's go ahead and let's see what we actually end up getting here. Because, again, you know, we're towards the last 2,500 or so hopefully we get something good. So there's 500, 500, 300. I mean, again, that's a good chunk of gems. I am not complaining with that at all, even though we didn't get the boss. But still, that is not bad. But again, you know, winners can't be losers. But then again, losers can't always be winners. If that makes any sense. I don't know. Either way, here we go. So there's the last boss. 900 Holy Stars left. And we got 6, 3, and 4. And again, that's pretty much how the Labyrinth came to go, unfortunately. But needless to say, thank you guys for watching the video. Check out my other Garrison Trap videos. And I'll see you guys next time.